Hi Madhuri, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. And how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good too. And can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah. My name is Matri Shankar. I'm from Mathura and I have completed my graduation with commerce. And I have 2.5 years experience of teaching. And now I have decided to switch to IT sector.
Mm, okay. So why all of a sudden you are thinking to shift your career from teaching field to, software
So,
testing?
yeah. After completing my graduation, I wanted to do job in IT sector, but at that time, lack of clear vision what to do or not. So I started teaching, and now I felt that I should do what I wanted that time. So that's why I want to switch to IT sector.
Okay. Which are the various types of software testing models?
So there are 3 to 4 types of software testing module. Uh, Software development or the software testing, like waterfall testing.
Yeah. The software testing
Yeah,
models you can explain.
yeah. The software waterfall testing module and spiral module
So
is
yeah, so these are models, right? So it's not module.
yeah.
So when you give an answer in an
Sorry,
interview,
models,
yeah.
model.
So you can explain it is
What's
waterfall
the
model, it is spiral model. Okay. Then which are the other models?
yeah.
Continue.
In in waterfall model, we release a module software in a flow. Like uh, there is no scope of changes in model. We start from requirements and what means we don't have a uh, exam in waterfall model.
Yeah, if you want,
We can't make any requirement changes,
right.
or it is good for the small projects, short projects. So we do testing in the end of the
At the end of the entire development, right?
entire development. Yeah, sir.
Yes,
I
yes.
know, but a little bit.
Yeah. Don't worry.
So
See, don't get
yeah,
nervous. Otherwise, whichever answers that you will know, those answers also you won't be able to recall. In an interview, you
yeah.
have to answer with a very cool manner. Okay. So, so it was about waterfall model. Then which are the other models that you have?
And there's another model is spiral model.
Mhm.
In a spiral model, it is like a iterative model, but after completing one cycle, we can make some requirement changes. Then we can do then we can again launch a product. But in the middle of the cycle, we can't here also don't make any requirement changes in this spiral model. So it is overcome the drawbacks of the waterfall model. If
Okay.
we need any requirement changes after one cycle completed, then we can make some requirement changes and again develop a new product.
Okay. Then what is agile model?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. What is agile model?
Uh, Sir, your voice is breaking.
It's breaking a bit. Okay. What is agile model?
Sir, Agile, it is also iterative model, but here a customer don't need to wait for a long
Mhm.
till the whole product is developed. Here we can develop a module, a piece of software, and can release to the customer.
Right.
So yeah, so there's a in Agile model there is Scrum Master, development team, product manager, and software testers also,
Mhm. Right. Right.
and
So,
user stories. Epic is the collection of user stories, backlog, and sprint backlog.
right. Right.
So
Okay. So apart from these models, we have V model, then we have iterative model as well, right?
this is
Yeah. So we
question.
have V model and we have iterative model as well. Apart from
Yeah,
Agile, Waterfall, and Spiral, we have V model and iterative model as well, right? Okay.
yeah.
Now, what are the disadvantages of Agile model?
So there is less documentation in Agile model. And documentation plays a very important role in developing a software, or because we can drive test scenarios while carefully reading the documentations. So and
Do you think requirement documentation will be less in Agile model?
uh, documentation, required documentation is lack in Agile
Actually,
model.
yeah. Actually, what happens in Agile model, the customer or the client is there. He will guide the business analyst or the PMO team to develop the software, right? So there is a lot of dependency on the customer or the client. So if your customer or end user or the client is not clear with the requirements, his goals are not clear, then the project can go then the project can go off track, right? Another thing is,
Okay.
yeah, another thing is in the Agile model, as you are telling, we don't have the BRD or FRD in the very beginning, right? So it is very difficult to assess the effort required, right, at the beginning of the cycle. Like, let's say if I am having some big complex project, so at the beginning of the project I won't be able to size the estimation or do the estimation of the project. It is a kind of parallel activity that is going on, right? So this is one of the disadvantage of the Agile model. Okay. Now, can you tell me the test scenarios for a lift? How will you test a lift?
Lift.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, are we talking about that lift in any building, or that kind of lift?
Yeah, yeah. Any kind of lift
Yeah,
in a building or in multi-story building, that is
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Okay. So first of all, sir, test scenario will be we will check that what is the capacity of the lift, how much weight it can contain, how many persons can go can go in one time, and we will check is it stopping on every floor or not,
Hmm.
or it is not stucking in the middle of the way while it is going up and down. And we will check that the doors are properly closed or not, and we will check electricity requirement. Or
Then,
this time
what
I can,
else? Yes, Madhuri?
yes,
Okay.
I'm
So,
thinking some more scenarios. So
Okay, okay. You can take your time to think. No issues. Or do you want me to help with the answer?
Sir,
Yeah.
your voice is breaking, sir. Hello.
Yes, yes, Madhuri. If you want, I can help you with the answer. No issues. So that in a real-time interview, when you get this question, you are able to answer this question properly. Okay. So
Okay,
see,
sir.
there are various scenarios when you can tell in, when you get this question in a real-time interview, how will you test a lift? So first of all, you will verify the dimensions of the lift. Then you will verify the type of the door of the lift is as per the specification or not. Then you will verify the material that has been used in the lift interior and the exterior side, right? Then you will verify the capacity of the lift in terms of the total weight. Then you can verify the various buttons that are in the lift that are properly working or not. For example, there is a switch to turn on the light or to turn on the fan. Those are working properly. Then there is a switch to close and open the doors as per the numbers, as per the number of floors. So those are working properly or not, right? Then you can verify the lightning in the lift, that is proper, right? It should not be dim. Then you can verify if there is an emergency button in the lift. That is, let's say if there is any mishap happening or any emergency kind of condition, so there should be some button to raise the alarm or raise those kind of things. Then you can verify the time duration for which the door remains open by default, right? Then you can verify if what happens when someone is trying to enter into the lift or come out of the lift when the door is about to open or when the door is about to close,
Okay,
right? Then you can verify whether in the case of power loss there should be a backup mechanism to safely get into a floor, right? Then you can verify, let's say it's a kind of a lift which only stops at the odd number of floors or at the even number of floors. So you can verify whether the lift is working as per those functionalities, right? Then you can
sir.
verify there is proper air ventilation in the lift, right? Then so these are all the various things that you can verify, right? Then you can also verify the performance of the lift, how much time it is taking from going from one floor to another floor, right? So those kind of things you can verify. Okay. Now, can you tell me how will you write an SQL query to find the maximum, minimum, and the average salary of one of the employees in some particular SQL table?
Sir, repeat the question again.
Okay. Okay. I'll repeat. So, can you tell me the SQL query? How will you write an SQL query to find the maximum, minimum, and the average salary of the employees in some particular employee table?
SQL.
Yes, yes, SQL query for minimum, maximum, and average salary of them.
Sir, I don't idea about it.
Okay, fine. So in order to get the maximum, minimum, and average salary, the answer is hidden in the question itself. So you will have an aggregate functions of the SQL, right? That is max, min, and average. So you can select max salary, minimum salary, and average salary from employee salary. That is a table, whichever
Okay,
table
sir.
is, right? So in a real-time interview, please make sure that you are revisiting concepts of SQL, because SQL database testing kind of questions are very important. They will be asked to you. Those questions will be asked to you in an interview.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, so this is an IDFC First Bank page login screen
Yeah,
is right. Now you have to tell me the
yeah.
high level positive test scenarios and the high level negative test scenarios. How will you test this website?
High level test scenarios.
Yes, yes. First you can start with the positive ones, then you can start with the negative ones.
Uh, okay, sir. Here is the option proceed to login. Then I will start. First of all, I will going through the requirement documentation. What is the requirement to log in? Then I will proceed to log in with the correct mobile number.
Hmm.
That is the positive test scenarios. Then I will check multiple actions like mobile number having some special character, alphabet, and uh, less than. I will use here some testing techniques like boundary value testing, and I will log in. I will try to log in with the name
Hmm.
or or I will try to keep the field blank, try to log in, and
Okay. See, you can start about the test scenarios from the very beginning, right? The logo and the brand of this particular bank, that is IDFC First Bank, and their logo is displayed properly or not, right? So that would be your first test
okay,
scenario,
sir.
right? Then this kind of images that are displayed properly, then you can open this URL in. Currently, it is open in Google Chrome browsers. So you can open in Safari, Edge, or Firefox browser, whichever browser it is supporting, and then you can test. You can validate whether these images, logos are displayed properly, right? Then this text is displayed properly or not. Then coming to the mobile number. So first of all, what you can do is you can enter the mobile number with which you have already registered into this bank, right? So we will test with the help of mobile number which is already registered. Are you able to log in successfully or not? Then we can
Okay,
test
sir.
with a new mobile number. Let's say if someone gets a new mobile number and he registers, right? So he will click on this particular option, right? New to net banking or activate now or get username, and then you can check whether these scenarios are working with those mobile numbers or not, right? Then once you click on
Okay,
proceed to
sir.
login button, so what it should redirect you, it should help you to navigate within the website itself, right? Then you can manage your credit card. So these all links should be working, right? ATM, branch locator, these all links. Let's say if I click on any of these links, so all these links should be working. Okay? So manage your credit card. So this is how all these links should be working. Now coming to the negative test scenario. Okay, and in the positive, sorry, I forgot to mention, there is this text over here, right? You are reminded to be conscious. So this text should be working, and at the same time, if someone opens this link in their mobile phone or any other browser, then this link should also work. This is very important. Okay, now coming to the negative test scenario, right? The negative test scenario can be, you can try to log in with a mobile number which is already deactivated. The mobile number is not in, uh, not valid, invalid mobile number. Or you can try to log in with a mobile number which is not registered itself, right? Or what you can do, you can enter a correct mobile number, click on proceed to login and disconnect the internet and then see what happens. Or disconnect the network connectivity, right? Or let's say if you are accessing this website via VPN, then you disconnect the VPN just to make sure that what happens if such negative things are happening, right? Then let's say you are trying to access this mobile in a mobile phone and Android or iOS device, and you have low battery or your phone gets switched off or your again internet of the mobile goes away, then what happens, right? So these are the various negative test scenarios.
Okay, sir.
Clear? Okay, so this is how, see, in a real time interview they will be asking you questions on test scenarios only. They want to know how much you are able to think, how much you are able to analyze
Yeah.
the particular scenario or particular situation, right? Whenever any question is asked to you, start from the top to bottom, right? From the
Okay.
beginning, like as we started. So we started with a logo, we started with a brand name, then there was a text written, then there was a mobile number text box, right? So go step by step. In this way, what you would be able to do, you would be able to cover most of the areas. You will be able to discover and think. So in this manner, your brain will also get time to think, okay, next this particular scenario I have to tell, next this. So before the interview, it will leave a very positive impression, right? They'll come to know, okay, she's thinking, she's covering all the things that are there on the screen, right? So that will give you a give them good confidence to hire.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, okay, you have joined from mobile, right? Um,
Yes, sir.
so fine. So I won't ask you to share your screen. Okay. Now consider there is a application of banking domain. Okay. Any banking
Banking
domain.
too.
Yes. Now you have to test a functionality. Your test manager or test leads comes to you in the morning, and they tell you that Madhuri, you have to test the functionality of transferring the money from one bank account to another bank account, right? So what would be the high level test scenarios?
So, for money transferring,
Okay.
so
Okay. For fund
first of all,
transferring,
yeah,
yeah.
n- the test scenarios will be like registering or creating an account with the application. So this is the first scenario. I will check the creating an account, then login,
So
login.
okay. So your account is already there, right? You would have
Okay,
already logged in. Now the functionality which you have to focus is the fund transfer from one bank account to another bank account. Let's say you are supposed to test the functionality for transfer of fund from HDFC Bank to Axis Bank, right? So how will you test this
okay,
functionality? When you have to test this functionality, right? So what is the scope of the testing? Scope of testing is you have to test the money transfer. That means the login, your account is present, those will be a part of prerequisites. Those things are already working, those things are already stable, developed, tested. Now the development team wants you to test this particular functionality. So just
so,
focus on this functionality. Yeah.
I will check the account number field, and the customer ID, customer name, and password also to transfer money, and
Mhm. Hello.
and bank name, which bank account I need to transfer money, and I IFSC code option also. I will verify that, and yeah, and bank name
Mhm.
also,
Correct.
and amount,
Mhm.
how much amount, and after transfer money to verify if I have received any message or not, and if transaction is failed, then I am getting notification or not, or
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm trying to think.
There are two or three critical scenarios that you should think of. Okay, no worries. So I'll tell you. See, whenever you transfer the money from one bank account to another, it is not necessary that you will be, there are various methods of transfer, right? You can do via You can transfer via, this debit card, you can transfer via credit card, you can transfer via net banking, you can transfer via UPI method, right? So these are the permutation and combinations that you should try, right? Then let's say if it's a new account in which you are trying to transfer, so what you will do, you will register the account, and after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or let's say after 30 minutes, depends on bank to bank, you will receive one message via, via text message as well as email, that some particular XYZ account has been registered and now you can do the fund transfer, right? So see, this is again now coming into the same line. Like earlier into the IDFC bank, we were going for two kinds of scenarios. One is with a new, trying to register with a new account, new mobile number, and trying to log in with an existing mobile number. So similarly over here also, you can validate the transfer of money is happening properly or not in a new bank account, and at the same time, it is working in an existing bank account as well, right? So this is how you can tell. Okay. Now consider a scenario where if you are transferring money from bank account A to bank account B, okay, it is working fine via debit card, via credit card, right? These two things are working fine, these two scenarios. But now coming to the third scenario, via net banking, you are not able to, uh, sorry, via UPI, is you are not able to transfer the money. So what would be the severity and what would be the priority of this difference?
Hello, sir, your voice is breaking.
My voice was breaking. Okay, fine. Let me repeat the question.
Yeah,
Right?
sir.
Okay. Now, let's say you are transferring the money from bank account A to bank account B. Okay. It is working via
Okay.
debit card. It is working via credit card, but via UPI option, it is not working. Right. So, what would be the severity and what would be the priority of this defect?
If it is if we are able to make a transaction via debit card and credit card, very well. But while we are making transaction using UPI, it's not working well.
Yes, yes. So, what would be the severity? What would be the uh, priority of this defect?
Sir, UPI is different from debit card, and so if we talk about only UPI,
Mhm.
and we are not able to make a transaction, and it is made for transactions. So here severity will be high,
Hmm.
and priority will also high.
Perfect answer. Severity will be high, priority will be high because one of the critical option itself is not
Yeah,
working. Right? So this is good. Okay. Which are the different static testing techniques that you are aware of?
static techniques.
Yeah, static testing.
Uh, Reviews the documentation. Actually, static testing is document oriented.
Right.
Uh, yeah, inspection of the documents or review documents like
Yeah.
uh,
So which are the various techniques? Yeah.
uh, I have seen review and walkthrough and inspection,
Hmm.
like these kind of techniques.
Right, right. So informal
Yeah,
reviews are there, technical reviews are there, walkthrough,
yeah,
inspection, and static code review. Right. So these are the various techniques of the static testing. Okay.
static.
Now, which are the dynamic testing techniques?
Dynamic testing is a testing of the functionality of the software.
Mhm.
like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, user acceptance testing, and uh, these are the dynamic uh, testing. If I talk about unit testing, here we do testing of a single module,
Mhm.
and integration testing when we two or more than two modules are integrated, and do testing if after combining the modules, the functionality is working properly or not. System testing is testing when we do testing of the whole system.
Right.
Yeah, and unit testing and integration testing comes under white box testing, and system testing and user acceptance testing comes under black box testing. If I talk about white box testing, it is done by the developers. They know the uh, programming part, coding part they have written, and white testing, white box testing means there is no requirement to know the uh, coding part, which is written inside the system.
So in white box testing, actually, there is a requirement of coding. You need to have a knowledge of the internal structure of the code, right? That is white box.
Yeah,
In black box testing, the internal structure of the code or the coding knowledge is not required. Is it clear now?
yeah.
Okay. Now, what is entry and exit criteria of testing?
Testing.
Yeah.
Uh, Entry criteria, taking the requirement and make some test plans and test designs and test scenarios, and we also write test cases. And after executing the test cases and make a report of the test cases executed or bugs and all, that is the exit criteria.
Right.
How
Okay.
bugs we
So,
found or
yeah. So entry criteria is the prerequisite items that must be completed before the testing can begin. Right. While exit criteria defines the item that must be completed before testing can be concluded. Right. It is a thin line of differences there, but it is very important. Now, can you tell me the test scenarios for an ATM machine?
ATM machine.
Mhm.
Okay, I will first check the on-off functionality. Then we'll check the all the options that are required for the customer or the user. I will check all the options that are shown or on the screen or not. Then I will check each and every functions that they are working properly or not. I will check if touch is not working, so they are then there are buttons are there or not, and to checking the functionality of the buttons also, uh, and check the every each and every button that are required to that are required for the main functions like cancel, exit, and clear of, and enter button, and to enter amount and password. All the numbers are there or not, and they are working properly or not, and the screen of the ATM is working properly or not, everything visible or not properly, and I will check that while we are making a transaction, we are withdrawing money, it is going outside properly or not. There is no mistake with the currency. not less than amount we have entered or more than amount we have entered. And we will check the functionality that we are getting receipt of the transaction or not. And we will check note, how many types of note are there in like 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 500 rupees. We will check their functionality also. And
Okay, okay, that's good. So I think you covered most of the scenarios, but still some scenarios are there, like what happens when you
yeah,
enter an incorrect pin, right? What happens when you enter an incorrect
incorrect.
pin? Then what happens if the card is already expired, or if you don't have that much particular balance which you have already requested? So those things you need to take care. Okay, Madhuri, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Uh, yes, sir. I know one thing that I have to improve my communication skills, but I have one thing to ask, that uh, how much I have to need to improve my QA testing,
Right. So
or
what you have to,
what I can add on to. Uh, yeah, so
yeah. So see, theoretical knowledge is good, right? You don't have issues in the theoretical knowledge, but when it comes to test scenarios, right? Let's say test scenarios of a lift or ATM machine or pen or fan or that particular website. So you have to think in an analytical way, right? In your daily life, day in and day out, try to test each and everything, whichever you are seeing, and try to jot down in a paper, in a notepad. These are the scenarios, right?
yes,
Then accordingly, you have to what I would say, you will come to know, okay, which all scenarios you are able to create. So you will be creative in these test scenarios based testing, right? So definitely